What's up, everybody? It's Broken Bones here, and welcome to KrustyKraft. Today is episode 45, yes it is, and today is part 6 of episode 45. That's because behind me, we have the superior universal Dirty Tree Blaster. If part 6 is not the part of the tutorial that you're trying to watch, then go ahead and go down in the description, and all of the links to all of the parts are down there. You're definitely going to want to watch all the parts because, as you can see, this farm's working absolutely insane. I've got my second account down there planting saplings. The trees are growing up, the wood is getting taken out of the farm, it's getting sent over to the Wither Blaster where it's getting blown up and set down into the storage system. I've customized the storage area with one wide Tileable Shulker box loading stations, and by the look of it, it looks like we've already filled up with all of the wood. Let's see here. We got a barrel filled with Acacia Logs, and now we have a barrel filled with Jungle Logs. We have a barrel full of Spruce Logs, a barrel full of Birch Logs, and a barrel full of Oak Logs. And if we come on over here, we've been getting clay and mud. So let's see here. We got ourselves that much clay, and we got ourselves that much mud. That must mean that we're actually, oh wow, our overflow is completely filled up to the brim, and that means that's why we hear the lava going. It's actually getting sent into the lava, so I don't think there's any more reason to have this farm on. Let's go ahead and turn it off. After seeing that, I'm super stoked to get on with the tutorial, so if you guys are too, then be sure to smack the like button for me and subscribe if you guys are new, and let's get started with the tutorial. And material list will be down in the description. Where we left off with the tutorial, we were on this side of the farm, and we were up here. We had just finished this, and we continued to build down here on this circuit. We had just gotten finished taking out our temporary blocks right here, and so I'll go ahead and play the last clip so you guys can go ahead and pick up right where you guys left off. Once you have all that redstone in place, then next we're going to go ahead and place ourselves in another lighting block right in this area. I think it needs it right here. If I can get that underneath there, there we go. That looks pretty good. And that'll go ahead and light everything up out here this way. Next we need to go ahead and come on down here. We need to come in right behind this piston right here. What we need to do now is we need to place ourselves in a temporary block, which I don't have one. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a temporary block there just like that. We'll place one in on the side over here just like so, on the side right here. Then we need to place ourselves on a block just like this. It's going to go on the side just like that. We can go and get on to this block now. What we need to do here is we need to place in ourselves a piston facing this direction. So we need to go ahead and come out here just like that and place ourselves in a piston just like this. Then next what we need to do is we need to actually place ourselves in another block in here like this. And we're going to place ourselves in another piston in here just like that, like this. There we go. And then we're going to place ourselves a redstone block in there just like so. That's going to go ahead and toggle back and forth, and it's going to toggle this circuit, which will connect that redstone to this repeater right here. So that's going to be the toggle point for that. And then also too, we need to go up by one, so let's go ahead and place ourselves on a temporary block there. We're going to grab ourselves a sticky piston just like this, and then a redstone block just like that. And you should see that that's catty corner right to this piston right here, just right there, just like so. So it's not on. If that redstone block were to go underneath, then it would activate and turn that piston on as well. So next we need to go ahead and get rid of our temporary blocks down here. Once you have all of your blocks removed, next we need to go ahead and get onto this glass over here. We need to come down here just like this. So get yourself down below. We need to get down underneath this piston right here. Next we need to grab ourselves some more temporary blocks. Let's grab some of those here. And we're going to place ourselves in a block right in here just like that. And then we're going to come out this way just like so. We're going to come out just like that and break out our temporary block. Up on that one, we're going to come out this way. We're going to place ourselves in a one tick repeater right there, and then a block up in front of that one like this. Then what we can do now is we can go ahead and come across over here. We're going to place in a block in right there just like that, and we're going to place that in by two more blocks just like so. We'll put in two more blocks in right here just like that. Then next what we need to do is we need to take ourselves in a couple of comparators. We're going to place in a comparator just like that, turn around, and place in another comparator like that, and put redstone dust in all of these locations just like so. Then once we have that done, we can go ahead and come right over to this area. We're going to place ourselves in a block on the side of that redstone here just like this if I can. There we go. That's pretty good. The next we need to come on down here. We're going to place in ourselves a block right in here just like this. This is going to be a 2-tick repeater right here. So go ahead and put in a repeater on 2 ticks. And then place yourself in another block right here with some redstone dust on it like that. Then over here underneath this block, underneath this circuit, we're going to go ahead and take an output from that with a sticky piston and an observer. Next we need to go ahead and place a sticky piston in underneath there just like that. That's going to extend. And then we also need to get on down here. We need to place ourselves in an observer right on the face of this guy. So let's get ourselves a temporary block down here. I'm just going to use that block. We'll place in an observer facing in that direction, so it's facing towards this redstone right there. And once you have that done, go ahead and break out your temporary blocks. Then we need to get ourselves, we need to get back onto this side of there. So let's go ahead and see if we can fly under that one. There we go. Then once you have that complete, next we need to go ahead and come on up here. We need to get ourselves up to this point, and we're going to go ahead and wire up this piston. So next we need to place ourselves in a block right there and a block right there. Next we need to place ourselves in some redstone just like this. And we're going to place 6 blocks in total just like that, including this one. So we're going to do 5 more. So let's go ahead and go 1, not like that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves back up there just like so. Let's go ahead and place this in here like so. I thought I'd go ahead and place in like this here if we can. Let's see if we can do this here. I think we can do that. There we go. So that's 2. And then let's go ahead and go 3, just like so. There's 3. And then 4, just like that. And then 5, like this. And then 6, just like that. And you should see that the 6th one brings you to the bottom of this circuit, and your redstone dust should go right up top like that. So what we need to do now is we need to place ourselves in a temporary block onto this side. Let's go and grab ourselves a temporary block just like that. We'll place that in on the side of this block like so. We're going to come back over here, place ourselves in a sticky piston on that one just like this right there. There we go. And then we can break out our temporary block, and then we're going to put ourselves in a block on the side of that one. And when that extends, it'll go ahead and cut this redstone off, which we actually need to go ahead and install right now. So next we're going to go ahead and come on over to this area just like this. Let's get on ourselves up here. We can come out this way just like so. We're going to place ourselves in a block just like that and grab ourselves a redstone torch, and we're going to put it on top of that block just like that. And you should see that that piston extends and cuts off that redstone dust. And then we can go ahead and remove all of our temporary blocks, including this one, and just make sure that you have something to land on down below. And then once you have that, go ahead and come on down here. We're going to come all the way to this side of the farm. That's our entrance, and so that we're on this side of the farm. This is where our lava is up there. You should see that lava with these pistons up there. So that's where we want to be. And we want to be down here, and we want to get to our dropper and our hopper that we just placed in, and we want to get to this comparator right here out of that block. I told you we were going to come back to that later, so now we're coming back to it. We need to go and grab ourselves a sticky piston just like that with an observer on its face just like so. Then we need ourselves a temporary block here. We're going to place ourselves in a block here just like that, then some redstone dust. We can put ourselves in another temporary block, and then another block up here with some redstone dust on top of that one. Then we need to do that one more time. So you should see now that we're up against this glass here, and we're going to put redstone dust right there. Then we need to go ahead and come off and place ourselves in a piston just like that, facing in that direction. Then what we need to do is we need to place ourselves in 3 blocks in here just like this. So we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to place ourselves a piston just like that, and that's going to have a redstone block on its face just like so. Next we need to come on down here and remove these blocks just like this. We can go ahead and actually leave this one in there. We need to come on up here. We need to actually go ahead and grab ourselves a sticky piston, and you should see that it's right next to that piston right there, this redstone block. So what we need to do is we need to place ourselves in a temporary block out there. We need to jump and place this in here. So let's go ahead and go just like this. Can we jump? Let's see here. We need to jump out here like this here. There we go. And have that sticky piston facing up just like that. And once we have that in place, we can go ahead and come off of there and break out our temporary block. Once we have that in place, next we need to go ahead and come on down here just like this. And now we need to wire up this piston. So we're going to go ahead and break out that temporary block, and we're going to wire up this guy right here. Next, we need to place ourselves in a block underneath that one, just like so. Place in a temporary block, and then one under that one as well, just like so. One more temporary block, and one more down, just like this. And then once you have that in place, next we need to go ahead and come on down here. In this area, we need a temporary block actually under here, just like that. There we go. Then we can place ourselves in a block over here on this side, just like that. There we go. Once we have that in place, we can take redstone dust. We can put that all the way up to here, just like that, leading into that block. That'll power that piston. Then from here, we need to go ahead and come on right here. We need to place ourselves in a block just like this, and then a block on the side just like that. Then we can get rid of all of these temporary blocks under here. Once we get rid of all of those, we can go ahead and come out by 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like that. We're going to take repeaters, and we're going to put those on 4 ticks. Let's place these on 4 ticks right here. So we're going to go 1, 4 ticks, 2 on 4 ticks, 3 on 4 ticks, and 4 on 4 ticks, just like that. There we go. Then because I have this redstone here, this may or may not be here for you, but if it is, then go ahead and place yourself on a block right there and get yourself up and over that. And in fact, you could do that regardless if that redstone's there or not. You can go ahead and do just like that. It'll work just the way we want it to. And next we need to go ahead and come on all the way over here to this area. Let's place in our blocks here. We need to come in just like this. I guess we can place it right on top of that. And then when we get to this redstone dust here, we actually need to go ahead and place ourselves in a temporary block there and place one on the side just like that, because we're going to staircase up now. Next we need some redstone dust. So let's place redstone dust going into this block all the way leading out that way. Then we're going to come up by another block just like this with some more redstone dust, and then we're going to come up by one more block, and you should see that that connects up to that circuit. And then once you have this completed, there's only a few more bits that we need to do to finish up Acacia Mode. Next, we need to go ahead and come on over here. We actually need to come on over to this piston right here. That piston with that block on it, it's kind of right above our comparator right there. We need to go ahead and get up there. So let's place ourselves in a temporary block just like this. We're going to place ourselves in a block over there just like that. And then what we need to do is we need to place ourselves in a redstone torch on top of it. So let's get ourselves a redstone torch in our inventory here. Let's get ourselves in position to go ahead and pillar up by that. So let's get ourselves right here. There we go. Just like this. Let's pillar up and put in ourselves a redstone torch in right here, just like that, right next to that piston. And you should see that that cuts that redstone off coming down from right there earlier. So next we need to go ahead and wire this up to Acacia Mode. So let's go ahead and head on down. We need to place ourselves in a block here just like this, facing down just like that. Then we're going to come down by another one here. So let's place in a couple of these blocks here just like that and place that in there just like so. Get some redstone dust on top of these and that one just like this. Then once you're coming down here like that, next we can go ahead and place in two more blocks onto this side. Let's go ahead and place in a couple blocks right here. Let's hop off of here and place in two blocks coming in just like that. That'll get us out and over these repeaters here. We need some more redstone dust along those. Then once we have that in place, on the side of this repeater here, we're going to need ourselves a temporary block so we can come down by another block right there just like so. Once we have that in place, we can break out that temporary block, and now we need to put some redstone dust on top of there just like this. Get yourself on top of that, and then we need to run this all the way around to Acacia Mode, the lamp that we have in the front. So let's go ahead and break both of those, and that's going to be right under here. So let's go ahead and get ourselves in position to do that. Let's bring this out front here just like so. Where do we need to be? That lamp is going to be right here, the second block. So let's go ahead and come out by two more. Why can't I get on there? There we go. And then we're going to come out by one more out here just like this. Then we're going to come off to the side here just like that. And you should see that that comes right underneath your lamp. You're going to go ahead and come all the way past your lamp. And we're going to go right to this block right here that we have a redstone torch on right there with right underneath that piston. We also need to do the same thing over there. We need to wire this up to Acacia Mode. So we're going to place in a couple blocks in here just like this, coming on down here just like that. Then once we have that in place, we need to go ahead and get one more in here just like this. Let's go ahead and hop up on here, and we're going to place one more in there just like this. Then once we hit to that area, we need to come on down in this direction just like so, and then finish that up just like that. There we go. Then we can break out all of our temporary blocks, and then what we need to do is we need to grab redstone dust. We need to come all the way up here. We're going to put redstone dust leading up from that torch, coming all the way down here just like this. And we need to come all the way across underneath our Acacia Mode lamp, and then we're going to hook that all the way back up here, all the way to the beginning just like that. And now your farm is pretty much all done and dusted. Once you have that complete, then go ahead and head back up to the top of your farm and make sure that you remove all of your temporary blocks. Next, we're going to go ahead and try to remove everything that we've placed in. So make sure that all of your temporary blocks, like all over here, I've got temporary blocks. Go around your farm and make sure that you remove all the temporary blocks that you have throughout your farm that you're using to build it. I found some temporary blocks in some funny places, so be sure to check everywhere. So once you've removed all of your temporary blocks, go ahead and make your way into the front of the farm there just like that. Look at that, I still have more temporary blocks. There we go. But as I was saying, the only temporary blocks you should need now are going to be the ones that lead you into the front of the farm, just like this. Once you have that done, you should be able to go ahead and turn on Acacia Mode just like that. You should see that this piston over here, let's check this out. This piston has opened up just like that, allowing all of the redstone dust to come on down. This redstone dust is on, and it should be on over here as well. We should see that that piston has retracted as well. That's very important. As long as those two pistons have retracted, then the rest of the circuit will work. So once you know that's all happening, then go ahead and come back on over here. We're going to go ahead and come back into our farm here just like this. We can go ahead and turn off Acacia Mode just to make sure that all of the circuits were wired up correctly. And next we need to go ahead and set up our storage area. All of our items are going to be coming out of the center of this wither blaster here, landing into a water stream, and I'm thinking because our entrance is going to be coming in off of this right here, I'm going to actually turn this 90 degrees and have it come in right in here just like this, coming straight into this area. And I'm thinking the hallway right here would look really nice with some really cool one-wide shulker box loaders right here. But before we move on with that, I noticed that we're missing some of the circuitry that goes around here. My bad. We need to actually wire up the clay mode circuit that's actually going to make the snowball machine go ahead and throw a snowball at the wither. So we need to get ourselves out here beyond this wither blaster here. So once we're right onto the outside of it, just like this, we can go ahead and pillar on up. So what we need to do is we need to come out by one, and I think I'll come out by one more, just like this. And we'll go ahead and come on up. Once we come on up here, we're going to go ahead and get started. So what we need to do now is we need to actually get to that circuit. That's going to be where the mud's going to be turning into clay on top of this. And it looks like we need to add some more dripstone. I didn't add the dripstone up there either. So what we need to do is we need to connect up to there first. Let's go ahead and get that started. So what we're going to do is we need to get ourselves right out here just like this. Let's place in one more just like that. We need to get over to this circuit. So next we're going to place ourselves in a temporary block just like that. And we'll get ourselves down here like so. And we can go ahead and place some redstone dust on top of that one, and that should go ahead and connect up to that observer there. So we're going to connect up to that. And next we need to get ourselves another temporary block down here and continue this on the way down. So we're going to place one here, and we'll place one here just like that. We can place another one down here like so, and we'll place that in there just like this. There we are. All right, then once we're in there like that, we can come on down. Let's see here. We could probably use our little area over here for a temporary block. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a bridge over here. We need to place a temporary block here, just like that, so we can come on down by one, just like so. There we go. All right, then once we're down here, we can carry this all the way out here and around here like so. We're going to bring this all the way around to the snowball machine. So we need to place in blocks coming all the way around the corner just like this. And then let's go ahead and come out by one more just like that. Let's go ahead and come all the way up. We're going to go right to this block right here, and we can hook all that up just like so. Let's get ourselves a repeater in our hand here. We need to go ahead and place in some redstone dust. We're going to place redstone dust all the way around here just like this. In this area right here, we'll place in ourselves a one-tick repeater just like that, and then we can continue this redstone dust going all the way back to this circuit all the way around here. Go ahead and bring this on up, and then once you have that connected, that circuit's all done. Be sure to remove all of your temporary blocks, and make sure to finish placing any of the dripstone that you might have missed. Then once you've completed all that, then go ahead and come back to the entrance of your farm here. We need to go ahead and get all of these saplings in your inventory so we can go ahead and test our farm. And let's see here. We also need to make sure that all these circuits work. So up here we have these two pistons right here. We're going to go ahead and turn off clay mode. We should see that the clay mode circuit does come back just like that. As you can see, the observer is now retracted. There's a gap right there. And this piston over here, this is mud mode. So if we go ahead and turn this off, we should see that that now has retracted. So that piston has retracted too. And if we go ahead and turn on clay mode, both of them go back into circuit. So that observer is now there and that block is now there. And if you turn that off, that should go ahead and retract as well. So once you know your circuits are working, there's one last thing that we need to do before we test our farm. Let's go ahead and head on back down here. We need to get over down here onto this part of the farm over here. Let's go ahead and hop up here, and let's go ahead and hop up here just like this. We'll go ahead and hop onto this circuit. We'll go ahead and hop all the way around up to here. And then down here, we should have this repeater right here. What we need to do now is we need to actually go ahead and change this. We need to change this to a block right here. And we need to put ourselves a one-tick repeater right there. That's very important. Otherwise, your whole farm will kind of implode. We need a little extra delay right there. So go ahead and break out the temporary block that was underneath. And then we need to fix one last circuit. So let's go ahead and hop up here. We're going to get back on top of this circuit right here. We need to go all the way around, all the way up, and around up here. Let's go ahead and get ourselves some temporary blocks. We're going to come all the way up to here, to this bit of the redstone right here, right where it comes up and splits in two directions. We're going to need to get rid of these 3 blocks and those bits of redstone. So let's go ahead and do that here. We're going to break this block here. We'll place in a temporary block right here. We're going to break out this block here, and then we're going to place another temporary block, and we'll break out that final block there, just like that. There we go. We can get rid of all of those, and the reason why we need to do that is because that's the way that the tutorial has it, but I've custom made this with that block powering this circuit over here, and so therefore I have to redo this, the the custom way. So what we need to do here is we're actually going to get rid of that redstone, and we're going to come back down here, and we're going to take this out right here, just those 2 blocks, just like that. Once we have those, then we can go ahead and get ourselves up right here. Let's go ahead and place ourselves in a block to get ourselves up and over right here, just like that. Then we're going to place in it 2 blocks in just like this with redstone dust up there and another repeater right there. That'll go ahead and power that redstone, and it'll get carried on up all the way through the circuit. And next we need to go ahead and come on down here. We need to remove that block because it's a temporary block. Let's go ahead and remove this one right there in the corner, just like that. There we go. And remove all the other temporary blocks that you have as well. So once you have that completed, I think it'd be a good idea to go ahead and put a sea lantern right there on the side of those pistons to make sure that all that lighting is going to light up all of this redstone right here. And so next we need to go ahead and test our farm now. So let's go ahead and grab our saplings. Go ahead and put those in your inventory. And the first one we're going to do is oaks. Let's go ahead and come on into the farm. We're going to look up and turn on oak mode. When we turn on oak mode, we should be able to come on into the farm, and we should be able to hit that switch, and then we're going to hop up on here. And next we should see that that sea lantern has come down by 2 blocks. There's a slime block right there and a sea lantern right there. So once you have that on, that's oak mode being on. So next we need to go ahead and plant ourselves an oak sapling. Let's go ahead and check that out. The oak sapling is going to grow up. It's going to go ahead and get pushed. It's going to get sucked out of the farm, just like that. Very nice, along with the dirt down below. Next, we'll go ahead and do Acacia Mode. So go ahead and come out of the farm. Let's go ahead and turn that lever. And then you hit this button. This is the safe exit. And now we go ahead and turn on Acacia Mode just like that. And we're going to go ahead and turn off Oak Mode just like that. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves some Acacia saplings and hop back into the farm. So let's go ahead and turn that back on. So as you can see, that has now gone flush with the ceiling. The sea lantern is all the way at the top now. And next, we're going to go ahead and place ourselves in an acacia sapling. And we should see that the farm pulses 3 times. So that's twice. And it's going to pulse 1 more time. Just like that, and that's because sometimes acacia trees will leave extra blocks like this. See how that's an extra block? It needs a second pulse pretty much all the time, and then every once in a while you need a 3rd pulse, so I've added that so that farm never breaks. And now once we have that in place, we can go ahead and turn the farm back off, and let's go ahead and turn Acacia Mode off. So let's go ahead and turn that off right here. So once we have that off, we can go back up here and we have all the other saplings. Let's go ahead and come up here. So next is going to be a jungle sapling. Let's go ahead and place that in there. We should be able to see that the jungle sapling is grown up now and it is looking good. There it is. All right, then the birch sapling, let's go ahead and place that in there. That's going to go ahead and grow up and get pushed out of the farm very nicely. There we go. Very nice. All right, then the spruce sapling, which is actually the hardest tree, it has the most standards to grow, and as you can see, that one has that one's gone out of the farm as well. So every single sapling in my inventory has worked. Let's go ahead and do an azalea here. We can do an azalea tree. I don't think we did that one, and there's an azalea tree there for you. So nonetheless, you can see this farm is working. So now I've got my second account in here, and you can see that he's planting saplings. The trees are growing up, and the farm is taking it right out. This thing's working absolutely insane. And to continue watching the tutorial, you guys are going to need to watch part 7 of this tutorial, and the actual farm itself is all done. But if we come out here, we can see that the wood is getting pushed out into the wither blaster, where it's getting blown up and sent down into my fully customized storage system. You are going to definitely want shulker storage for this farm, because just look at how much wood we're getting out of this farm. This farm's absolutely insane. We've already gotten full barrels filled up with all of the different wood types, and we got mud and clay, and even our overflow. Look at our overflow. Our overflow is completely full. There's clay and then mud. That's just crazy. And so I highly recommend watching the last part of this tutorial. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this part of the tutorial, and if you guys did, then be sure to smack that like button for me and subscribe if you guys are new. I'm Broken Bones, and I'll be seeing you guys in part 7 of this tutorial. Take it easy, everybody. The link is on the end screen there. You guys will see it.